This video is going to trigger a lot of people, so let me apologize in advance. But I think if you're using sealers in 2026 and beyond, you're definitely not doing it correctly, and you want to check out this video. Because in this video, we're going to show you why sealers suck and why you shouldn't be using them. The purpose of this video is not to upset you, it's to educate you. I want to help you out, and you guys help me out. So let's get a couple things straight. When I say sealer, I'm talking about the catalyzed product that I'm putting on before my base coat, aka my color coat. In your part of the world, they may call it a primer sealer or wet on wet because you're weird. But we're all talking about the same thing here. I'm saying that sealers are outdated and high-end paint jobs. There's definitely a time and place for them, and we're gonna go over that. But if you follow our system, I think you'll find a better way. If you're going to use a sealer on your next paint job, I feel that there's only two choices for you out there. You're either using an epoxy sealer that's 2K catalyzed or a urethane sealer that's catalyzed /2K. And they both have their pros and cons. A lot of guys in restoration, a lot of guys in high-end custom cars, they choose an epoxy sealer because it has the bare metal protection built into the formula. But it's very different in collision. The industry standard for collision is a 2K catalyzed urethane sealer, and the reason being is it's faster and it's easier to work with. If you didn't know it, refinishmedia.com is alive and well and it's up and running. If you want to support us, you can get on refinishmedia.com and buy some of our merchandise. Plus, every couple weeks, we're going to add some products that we love and we use every day. This week, we're adding a product from Next Level Blocks. If you're not familiar with their blocks, you definitely want to check out refinishmedia.com to see what kind of items that we have for sale on there. Now back to the video. There's going to be a lot of production painters and collision guys out there that totally disagree, and they think that you need to use a sealer on every job, and you're incorrect. Now I admit, when I was first starting in this industry, I lived by this motto: when in doubt, seal it out. In 99% of my jobs, I used a sealer, but there is definitely a better way. In Europe, they're not using sealers, and I want to carry some of that knowledge over here to America. But let's talk about where sealers make sense in America. If you're trying to match a color, you're changing the color of the sealer, the L shade or the G code, and the computer tells you what color sealer to use to hit the best match. If you're painting over brand new parts, be it raw plastic or E-coat, you absolutely want to use a sealer in that application because it will stick better, aka adhesion. Also, it'll give you a little bit of a cushion so you're less acceptable for rock chips. There's a million reasons why we in America use a sealer. It sticks better, it fills minor imperfections, it color matches better, blah, blah, blah. But if you continue to watch this video, we're gonna show you why in high-end paint jobs, a lot of guys are getting away from the sealer and all the negativity that sealer can bring. As far as I know, there's not a single DTM or direct-to-metal urethane primer that I would put over bare metal. I don't care what the manufacturer says. If you're using epoxy sealers over raw metal, sure, that's cool. But if you're using a urethane sealer over raw metal or aluminum, it will stick to it, but it's not protecting the metal from rusting out, and I think you're a hack. If you're going to continue to use sealer, make sure you have a dedicated sealer gun that's higher end. When I was sealing cars, I liked using a sealer gun with a 1.2 or a 1.3 because they offered a smaller droplet. A lot of guys in production and collision want a larger droplet, so they want that 1.3 or 1.4 tip setup for the larger OEM look. Sada has a brand new setup that's between a 1.3 and a 1.4, and I'm just gonna call it a 1.35, but you should check out that setup if you're using sealers still. I already told you why people like sealer. Let's talk about why sealers suck and why you shouldn't use them. Look, there's 100 reasons why we got out of using a sealer, but let's talk about the two biggest reasons why I think sealer sucks. Number one is they're prone for shrinkage. What does that mean? If you look at the sealer that you're using and actually look at the technical data sheet, it will say solid contents, 30, 40, 50% or less. That means when you paint it off of the gun, it looks good, but over 30 days when it finally cures, you can see some slight waves and it doesn't look as good as the day that you painted it. Now, if you're painting F-150s and painting VWs, that might be fine. But if you're doing collision work on Rolls Royces, if you're doing collision work on black Porsches, that's not gonna fly. Another reason why I don't like sealer is they add way too much texture. And one of the things that I used to do before I got rid of sealer completely to combat this is I would paint a car, I would actually seal it, base it, let it sit overnight. I would sand my base coat, getting all my dirt out, all that minor peel that the sealer adds, rebase it and clear it. And that way actually works. And if you're a diehard sealer guy, you can use it that way. I think the best way to do it though is to get all of your body work done in final primer. If you get a cut through or whatever, you reprime it and you get it perfect and you skip sealer completely and you go right to base coat and clear coat and you avoid all the problems that sealer brings. Now that doesn't make sense if you're doing high-end restoration and you're using a polyester. And you might argue, oh, I gotta do the sealer thing with the urethane and then sand my base. Not necessarily. High-end painter Charlie Hutton does it a different way. What he'll do is he'll come in his final prime, he'll actually use a urethane sealer, he'll put 3 coats down, let it sit for a day or two, he'll block that out with a very fine grit, say a 400 or 600 grit. If he cuts through anywhere, he'll spot that in, and again with the same sealer, he'll get it perfect and he'll move right to base coat so he avoids all the texture and all the shrinking problems that sealer brings. Some people may be confused because there's a lot of information and there's a lot of conflicting information in this video, but let me confuse you a little bit more. If you're gonna seal, here's a couple things that you have to consider. You have more time in product. You gotta buy that sealer. You gotta stock that sealer. You have to apply that sealer. It's more money too. Also, there's more material, meaning mils, that extra 1 mil of material that the sealer will bring. The texture that the sealer adds. You have the shrinking that the sealer adds. Also, because you're adding another layer or another coating, it's gonna be more acceptable for dirt too. So I'm not telling you to seal or not to seal. I'm telling you to consider all these factors before you do your next paint job. Now, if you are gonna seal, which there's definitely some cases to seal, I would definitely seal or prime over polyester. I don't like putting base coat right on top of polyester primer. I think that's a huge no-no. I don't like putting base coat directly over etch. So you'd have to seal or prime over etch. E-coat, same thing. I'm not gonna put base coat directly over E-coat, and I'm not gonna put base coat directly over raw plastic. If you're gonna do the trick that we used to do, where you come in and you seal it and you base it, I like that way, but there's some downsides to that too. I seal it, I base it, I have to pull it out of the booth because I don't want to sand in my booth. I sand all my base coat, and sometimes I would mess up my tape job, so I'd have to retape most or all of it, put it back in the booth, and base it and clear it. There's not really a right or wrong way. It really depends on what type of job you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish. I know 90% of the people out there watching this video are not gonna agree with me and they're gonna continue to seal, and that's fine. I really don't care. You see this Mach-E behind me? This is a normal collision job, a normal OEM paint job. Would I seal this car? Absolutely. In Europe they wouldn't, but I'm an American and I'd put 2 coats of sealer on it and I really don't care. What we're talking about in this video is that upper level of automotive refinishing. If you're trying to do a full-blown restoration of the highest quality, if you're doing collision work on Rolls Royces, if you're trying to paint a Riddler car, we're trying to give you information that no one else is bringing you. And if you really take a minute and think about it, sealer is causing a lot of unnecessary problems for those people who are searching for the absolute best of the best. Hopefully you like our content. Hopefully you like our channel. If you do, a like and subscribe will really help us out. From everyone at Refinish Media, until the next time.